In this particular tutorial, we are going to have a discussion on May-June 2025. So we are going to discuss some of the areas that candidates had to prepare on for the May-June exams, paper 2, the non-calculator paper. So we are going to have a candid discussion on how candidates were supposed to approach different questions so that you can be able to be in a position to prepare for your upcoming exams. So diving in so that we can see the first question that was tested. The first question that was tested was on simplifying. And basically here, candidates were expected to leave their answer in a simplified form. And what was expected of them at this point is to put the like terms together. They were to recognize that we have like terms like 7C and C, then -5D and 3D are like terms. So combining that, we are going to have our expression simplifying to 8C minus 2D. The next question was testing about parallel lines and transversals and angles in parallel lines. The first angle that was basically given here was 76. So from 76, this makes a straight line, then this is going to be 1 of 4. And if this is 1 of 4, this angle also is going to be 1 of 4. And if this 1 of 4, this angle is going to be 76. So meaning that our x is going to be 76. Then if you have that, you can see that if this is 76, this is 1 of 4, then the other angle that we could be able to find, okay, so this is 158, this is here 158, so we can be able to find this angle, and this angle is going to be 180 minus 158, which is going to translate to 22. And if this is 22, this angle also is 22. Yeah, then if you add this angle and this minus 180, we're going to get 82. So y is going to be 82 as shown here, and w is going to be 22 minus 180 minus 22, and that's going to translate to 76. So basically that's what you are supposed to do in that particular question. The second question that was the third question that was asked is where Sally invests $1,500 at 3% per year simple interest. We know that interest is usually rate times time times principal over 100. So you can be able to find interest by that, but amount now will be the initial principal plus the interest that we have gotten here. So that is why you can see I said 1,500 times this here. I was calculating the interest, and then after getting the interest as 270, you can add to the initial amount for you to get the answer for that particular part. All right, moving to question number 4. And in question number 4, we were given fractions. So we'll start by working out the multiplication first. So working out the multiplication, we shall have 5 over 6 minus 2 over 3 times 3 over 8. We can just group this together and work it out. And that is going to cancel. And we shall have 5 over 6 minus 1 over 4, which we are going to express as a single fraction. And our final answer becomes 7 over 12. So you will be expecting to see a question to do with fractions, and that is exactly what you're going to do. Moving to number 5, we are told that interior angle of a regular polygon is 150. So something that you are supposed to remember in this question is that sum of the interior and exterior angles, they add up to 180. And also exterior angle is equal to 180 minus the exterior angle, which means that 180 minus 150 is going to give us 30. So 30 degrees is the exterior angle. Then to find the number of sides, we are going to say number of sides of a regular polygon is equal to 360 divided by the exterior angle. So which means that we can be able to divide by 30, which is the exterior angle, and that is going to enable us work out the number of sides as shown there. Question 6, we are supposed to draw on the grid the line 2x plus 1. We add another line, y is equal to x plus 1. Then for you to sketch a straight line, what you need to do is to come up with table values x and y. So meaning that if x is 0, y is going to be what? This is going to be 1. If x is 1, it will be 2 times 1 plus 1, which is 3. And when x is 2, that's going to be 5. Then we can be able to plot those points. 0, 1 will be here. 1, 3 will be somewhere here. And 2, 5 will be up here. Then I can now be able to draw a straight line joining the points, and I'll be able to find my line, and the point of intersection is shown there for the two lines. So if you are told to solve simultaneous question graphically, you just plot the two lines together on the graph, and then you check where the lines are crossing, where the point where the lines are intersecting, and that's going to give you the solution for that. So we can be able to read the x value here, and then we can read the y value at that point, so that we can be able to come and say x is basically 2, x is 2, and y is 5. Is 5. Yeah, so that's what you are supposed to do in a question like that. So you can be given simultaneous equation to solve by elimination, by substitution, or by graphical method as far as this paper is concerned. Write the recurring decimal 0.26. The dot is at 6, and then we are supposed to write it as a fraction. So meaning that we can say this is can be written like that. The digit that is recurring there is basically 6. So we can say let x be 0.26. 10x will be 2.66. 100x is going to be 26.66. Then you can see now at that point, if you subtract 100x and 10x and subtract 26.66 minus 2.66, it will mean that we are going to have 0 after the decimal point. And that's exactly what was our objective and our target and our goal. So in that way, we shall have this as 24/90. If you simplify this is going to translate to this is 8/30, but also 2 can divide 8 and 30, so that's going to be 4/15, so that we can be able to leave our answer like that. So I believe you are getting value from this particular video. And if you're new to ProfLearn YouTube channel, consider subscribing so that anytime I'm going to upload more tutorials, you'll be notified. And also, if you're here, you've not joined our Patreon page, you can join our Patreon page so that you can be able to be accessing all the PDF that we usually have in this particular tutorial and in any discussion we usually have. So take a moment, take a second or two to ensure that you join our Patreon page. Don't forget to share our video to your friends. All right, so moving to the next part here, you can see we are given a question to do with simple vectors, areas that you will be also asked to work out in your paper, in paper 2. And in that case, we are told 2m minus n. And you can see 2 times 11 will be 22. At the same time, if you observe here, 2 times 5 will be 10. And then you can subtract the two guys. We shall have our answer as shown there. vector 5 root y has magnitude 7. Find the value of y. We know for you to find the magnitude, whenever you are given a column vector AB, magnitude is going to be equals to a squared plus b squared. That's how you find the magnitude whenever you are given a question. But now here is 5 and here is root y. So we can be able to put that into brackets that way. And then we square both sides because we can square here. And we are going to have 49. So we shall have 25 plus y is equals to 49. Take 25 on the other side, and that is going to be 24. So this is going to be 24. Yeah, that's going to be 24 there. And that is exactly what we expected to do in that question. Moving to the next question. Question 9 was testing on statistics. The mean mark is 6, and then it means that we can be able to find the mean. Formula for the mean is usually summation of fx over summation of f. So which means that if you want to find fx, you multiply this and this, you get 8, this and this, you get 20, this and this, you get 8n. Then total frequency will be 6, 2 plus 4 plus n, which is going to be 6n. That is going to be the total frequency. So summation of fx becomes, the adding all this becomes 28 plus 8n over total frequency, which is 6 plus n, should be equal to the mean. And the mean is 6. So you can be able to multiply 6n both sides so that you can get it you can get it from the denominator. And of course, putting the like terms together, we are going to get our answer being equivalent to 4. Moving to question 10. Question 10 was testing on circle theorem. So CO and AO represent the radius of this particular circle. Then you need to remember that CAO is going to become an isosceles triangle there. Then if that is the case, if this CO and AO are equal, then it means that base angles of that are equal. So this is also 35 degrees. Once we have identified that, we can be able to use angles in a triangle add up to 180. So which means that this is going to be 110, because 35 plus 35 gives us 70. 180 minus 70 is going to give us 110. Then this angle that we have here is going to be 55, because angle on the circumference is 2 times the angle at the center is 2 times the angle at the circumference. Since angle O is 110, then angle B is going to be a half of that. Then we can also remember another concept, that this angle is in alternate segment with B, so this is 55, and this angle here is in alternate segment with angle ACB, so that is 35 plus 40, which is going to be 75. The whole of this angle is in alternate segment with this, which is going to be 75. Yeah, 75 there. Well, I think we've kind of worked most angles. So this angle is 110. This angle here is 55, and angle DSC. Let's see, DSC is 55 as well. Now angle OAB. Let's work out angle OAB. Now, in this angle OAB, this is the angle that we are talking about here. Yeah, angle OAB. This is the angle that we are talking about. This angle here. If you look at all those angles that are there, they form a straight line. So meaning that if you take 55 plus 35 plus angle OAB plus 75, they should give us 180. So we can say this is going to be 180 minus 55 plus 35 and plus 75. And if you work it out, you're going to get your final answer becomes 180. 180, of course, if you add this, what does it give us? 165. And then we can be able to say that this is 15 degrees. This angle is 15 degrees. So we can be able to say those are angles in a straight line, add up to 180, and that's the property that we have used at this given point. So this is going to be 15 degrees. Moving to question number 11. Question number 11, we are told that the tangent from point P touches the graph f of x at point AB. The value of AB are integers. By drawing this tangent, find the values of AB. So we're going to go and identify where P is. P is at this point here. You can see P up there. And then we can be able to, yeah, this is our point, this point, and then we can be able to draw a tangent carefully. Yeah, so you can see that tangent is touching our curve at some specific points here. So if you can read it properly, let me adjust it. This is the point, and you can see that is like 1, 2. This point is basically 1, 2. 1, 2. So that is the point. A is 1 and B is going to be 2. So that is exactly what we are supposed to do. Yeah, so this is 1 and 2. Next question, find the equation of the tangent. Find the equation of the tangent and give your answer in the form y is equals to mx plus c. For you to find the equation of the tangent, what you need to remember here is that we must find the gradient of that particular tangent. So we need to find the gradient through those given points that are there. So we shall say that this is going to be gradient is in change in y over change in x, which means that we are going to have 11 minus 2 over negative 2 minus 1. So which means that this is going to translate to 9 over negative 3. Meaning that the gradient is going to translate to negative 3 as well. Then we can be able to find the equation of the straight line by saying y minus 2 is equals to negative 3 into x minus 1. So that means you can be able to open the brackets and put the like terms together, simplifying it to be y is equals to negative 3x plus 5. In question number 12, we have time spent on the internet by each of the 120 adults. The cumulative frequency curve is given here. It's well indicated here. Then we can be able to find the interquartile range. And remember, for you to find the interquartile range is the upper quartile minus the lower quartile. And for you to find the upper quartile, take the total cumulative frequency times 3 over 4. That is 75%. And also 25% will give you the lower quartile. So if you work it out, this is going to be 90. So you go here where we have cumulative frequency. You check where we have 90. You draw a straight line and check where it meets the curve, and then go down until you read that point there. Yeah, so you can read that point. For our lower quartile, is to be 1 over 4 times 120 times, that's going to be 30. So we identify 30 somewhere here, somewhere here. Then you read down here. So we are going to read those values carefully so that we can be able to get exact values, understand the scale, understand what one small box represents, so that you can be able to identify which point is that. So this is going to be 4.2 and this is going to be 5.6. Then we can be able to say interquartile range is upper quartile minus the lower quartile, and that is going to translate to 1.4. This is basically 1.4 upper quartile, lower quartile. Yeah, so here what I did is the upper interquartile range is equals to upper quartile minus the lower quartile, which gave me 1.4. And then we have 70% of adults spent less than K hours on the internet. So we're going to go and work out 70% of that. What is 70%? 70% of the adults. That's going to be 70 of 100 times the total number of adults that we were having there. And that's going to translate to something like 84. Then you go there, you check where do we have 84, then you go and check 84 somewhere here, then you meet the line and then you read that value that we have down here, which is around 50, or this is around 50, sorry, 5.4. So K is going to be 5.4. Question number 13 is another interesting question, very commonly tested question. You will be given question to do with solids, volume, curved surface area of a cone, sphere, and this cylinder. So in this case, we are told that the diagram shows solid A and solid B. Solid A, you can see it's having a cone, and then below it we have a hemisphere. And the other side we have what? We have a cylinder there. And then the diagram, we are told we have A and B. Solid A is made from hemisphere and a cone, each with radius 6, and the cone has sloping edge of 10 centimeters. Solid B is the cylinder with radius 4 and height h. The total surface area of A is equal to the total surface area of B. Work out the value of h. So in this particular question, what you are supposed to do is to find the surface area of the cone, and that is the curved part of the cone, and the surface area of the hemisphere, the lower part. We add them together, and then also we find the surface area of the sphere, which is usually the bottom and the top plus the curved part of that sphere. Sorry, cylinder. I'm talking of the cylinder. Bottom of the cylinder, top of the cylinder plus the curved part that runs round. Okay, then now we say the two are equal because surface area of cone plus surface area of the hemisphere should be equal to the surface area of the cylinder. Let me just take you step by step on how you're supposed to work out that. So the first thing that you're going to do here is to work out the surface area of the hemisphere. And remember, surface area of a sphere is 4 pi r squared. So surface area of a hemisphere is going to be 2 pi r squared. So let's start so that we can be able to begin. Surface area of hemisphere is going to be given by the formula area is equals to 2 pi r squared. That is 2 times pi times 6 squared, and that is going to translate to 72 pi. Then we're going to work out the surface area or the curved part of the cone, and the curved part of the cone is going to be given by the formula to pi rl. Pi rl. R is the radius and L is the slant edge, and then this is going to be that, and we have L there, so you can be able to say pi times 6 times 10, and that's going to be basically 60. So once we have gotten the that one, we are going to add the two together so that we find the surface area of A, which is 72 pi plus 60 pi, and that is going to be equivalent to 132 pi as the final answer. Moving to the surface area of the sphere, surface area this should be surface area of cylinder. Yes, moving to the surface area of the cylinder, not sphere. Yes, so I need to change that word so that it's consistent to what we are talking about. So yeah, I need to change that word. Yeah, I need to change this. Yeah, so we are moving to the surface area of a cylinder. Yeah, the surface area of the cylinder is actually going to be the area of the top and the area of the bottom, then plus the curved part of the cylinder, because the curved part is the one that usually goes around the top and the bottom. So meaning that is going to be 2 pi r h plus 2 pi r squared. 2 pi r squared because of the two tops, the top and the bottom, which is the two circles, 2 pi r squared plus this curved part that we are having at that point. So if you work it out, you're going to get that being equivalent to 32 pi plus 8 pi h. Then if you equate this part and this part, because they are equal, then we can be able to cancel pi all through, and our h is going to translate to 12.5. Right, so that is 12.5, and that is exactly what we are supposed to do at that given point. Now, in the process of working out the height of solid A, the total height of solid A, you can see we can drop this height there, and we can use Pythagoras theorem in order to find that height, which is going to be 10 squared minus 6 squared, and that's going to be equivalent to 8. But at the same time, you realize that this represents the radius again, which is 6. So the total height is going to be 6 plus 8. So meaning that total height is going to be 8 plus 6, and that's going to be 143. 140. So, oh my goodness. This is 14. How do I say 143 surely? This is going to be 8 plus 6. Okay, all right. This is what we shall do. And then I'll transfer this down here. I will transfer it down here so that we can be able to have our steps well demarcated. So the height of solid A is going to be 14. Just transfer it here to make the examiner happy. So at that point, you can check the link in the description to watch part 2 of this particular paper. See you in the next tutorial.